Hi, I'm Rebecca Rolnick. I'm a nature journal teacher, and today I'm responding to a question that was sent in. This person was asking about the class Nature Journaling for Ecological Re-STORY-ation, which is starting very soon, and they asked, how do we connect with nature and tell the stories of nature if we lack access to it? So this is a really great question, and if you do have access to nature, I think that what I'm about to share can still be a really powerful perspective shift for you. So nature is everywhere, but access to it isn't equal. And I think everyone should have access to nature, but unfortunately it's not that way. And I want to start by acknowledging that and that it's not fair. There's not as much biodiversity in some places as others. Um, and I'm really fortunate that I live next to a forest, but not everybody does. And so there are some tips that I've learned from my students and from some other of my friends in the nature journal community who do have limited access to nature, but have still been able to have a nature journaling practice. And I don't know exactly what kind of access you were specifically talking about, if it's more of the location, being in an urban place, or limited access due to mobility issues or something like that. So I'd be able to give you a little bit more specific advice if I knew a little bit more of the situation. But these are some of the tips that I have learned from people who have limited access. And I'm going to answer the question in two parts. So the first thing is what I've learned from my friend's experience is that there's always something to observe. There are always some kind of nature stories happening in a place. So if you're in a city, you can see the sky and the clouds as long as you're not someplace that has too much smog. You can observe the temperature, the ants in the sidewalk, the street trees, the weed plants, the pigeons. There might even be rivers and streams in your city that are secret now, but they've been covered over with concrete, but they're still there if you can find them. Now, if it's more of a mobility issue that you're facing, you can look out the window or see what you can notice from your front doorstep. Even if you have one tiny area of something natural, that can yield really rich observations and connections when it's visited over time. And if nothing else, you are a part of nature. Your food is a part of nature. The water you drink is a part of nature. Your houseplants, even your own bodily sensations and emotions. There are stories in all of these things. And if we're paying attention and recording them in our nature journal, these little moments, which we might have never noticed, can become a meaningful part of your overall life story. Now, the second part of what I want to say, the other thing to think about is that it's not just nature, the way we typically think of nature and wilderness settings and these kind of things, but as Robin Kimmerer says in the quote that inspired this class, she says, our relationship with land cannot heal until we hear its stories. So it's not just about nature stories per se, but the stories of the land. We all live on land, unless you live on a boat, but all land and all places are part of the biosphere, part of the bigger picture and the bigger story. Your place still connects to and is interdependent with every other place around the world. And your place has a history. Even if it is very built up and urban now, this land belongs to a certain type of ecosystem. Even now, it has a distinct climate and bioregion and watershed that make it unique compared to all other places. The land that you live on has a past and it has a future. And by learning about some of those stories, past and present, that will allow us to write its future. And yes, some of these stories can feel very sad to learn about. It definitely opens up some grief. But even if we do live in a more pristine place, the truth is there's been a lot of changes in the land in the last couple centuries, and a lot that's been lost, even if we don't realize it. We're all living in changed and degraded ecosystems. But on the same token, we all have something to observe in nature wherever we are, something to give our gratitude to, a story to listen to and share with others. There's always something, even if it's small. And these stories, even these small stories, matter too. And the activities and homework that we do in my class would be able to help you find those stories and that connection to the place, to feel like you're a part of that place. You're a part of its story, and the story of that place is a part of you. So I hope that helped. Let me know if that answered your question or if you have any follow-up questions. And to everybody, let me know if you have any questions. Go find something that makes you feel a sense of wonder today. See you soon.